My name is Paige Van de Vuurst, and I am a PhD student at Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University in Blacksburg, Virginia. I am currently a PhD student in the Laboratory of Disease Ecology and Biogeography, and my key advisor is Dr. Luis Escobar. My research is very much focused on understanding how global phenomenon like landscape change and climate change impact disease transmission or spillover transmission, where a pathogen is transmitted from one species to another at the human-wildlife interface. So my research very much focuses on understanding how retrospective or current climate or landscape changes impact the distribution of different reservoirs and how that augments spillover transmission dynamics. My main study system is vampire bat rabies in Latin America. Now, vampire bats are a really, really interesting species. They're one of only three bat species that feed exclusively on blood. And we know that climate can impact where and when vampire bats live across the landscape. And so, in understanding how climate change augments or changes the distribution of the species, or how they interact with the prey species that they feed upon, we can understand what might happen in the future. So what we found is that climate change has driven a distributional change in this species. We've also found that there's been a concurrent increase in rabies spillover events in livestock species because of this distributional change. And so in terms of next steps or partnerships, we very much want to understand what variables drive the transmission of rabies from the bat species to livestock species in some areas and not in others. So what factors are driving that transmission? How can we understand it? And how can we potentially prevent future impacts of this disease system, both on wildlife and on livestock, and of course on humans? So we're very much interested in working with interdisciplinary teams of clinicians, veterinarians, and local stakeholders to understand this system and to better help everyone in a public health context.